The government has abolished free housing for police officers and will now pay allowances to enable officers to rent houses for themselves. This as the government looks at how best to address the issue of housing for officers who have for decades lived in deplorable conditions. As Enoch Sikolia reports, these are among reforms into the police service that were announced by President Uhuru Kenyatta as he officially opened the security conference.
The story of dilapidated police houses has been told for many years. In 2016, the Independent Oversight Authority, IPOA, claimed that 63,000 police officers were living in conditions like this, or even worse. According to the authority, the deplorable state of affairs undermined police morale. Initially, the government had an ambitious plan to build houses for the police as part of a comprehensive strategy aimed at improving the living conditions of police and prison staff. But in changes announced by President Uhuru Kenyatta, the government has vacated this plan altogether and instead has opted to introduce house allowances for all cadre of officers.
To better integrate them with the Kenyans that they serve, the policy of mandatory and free housing for junior officers in institutional houses is hereby abolished, and instead, house allowance for all ranks of these officers will be provided.
The house allowance for officers has been categorized into three: Nairobi, a cluster of 5 counties of Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Meru and Uasin Gishu, and all other counties. Officers based in Nairobi will receive a house allowance amounting to 18,124 shillings. Those in Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Meru and Uasin Gishu counties will take home an extra 13,124 shillings per month in house allowances. Officers in the remaining counties will get 8,124 shillings.
Subsequently, all officers, many of whom today live in appalling condition, in shared houses, or those housed in structures in police lines, shall vacate them within 90 days of the date of the new allowance and integrate themselves in and amongst their communities and neighborhoods.
90 days after the house allowances hit the payslips, dilapidated slums in police lines will be demolished. For decades, police officers have been living in camps and police stations. But according to changes that were announced by President Uhuru Kenyatta, beginning December, they will be living among members of the society as a measure of ensuring security.
It will even be easier to identify who a criminal is rather than what we have now, where occasionally you hear there was mistaken identity, a criminal has been arrested, some guys have been shot. There's a lot of noise from the public. These guys will now be part of us.
Itageuza ule uso wa polisi na wananchi.
It's projected that paying house allowances for officers will save government between 2 to 3 billion shillings that is spent on electricity, water and other bills, and more than 1 billion shillings on leasing houses. The government pays as much as 28,000 shillings for every house leased for police officers. About 70,000 junior police officers will be affected by the plan. Out of an estimated 98,000 police officers, only those above the rank of inspector earn house allowances. The rest are supposed to be housed by the government, which has resulted in a crisis. Apart from housing, the radical police reforms introduced on Thursday will also see integration of the administration police and the regular police unit. For years, police officers have been accused of incompetence and lack of efficiency while executing their mandate. But President Uhuru Kenyatta says the reorganization of the police service will ensure that these accusations are a thing of the past. Enoch Sikolia, Citizen TV, in the county of Nairobi.